Let me tell you a little bit about myself so you know who you're stuck with this week, the guy with the cool mustache. So since we're going to spend the quarantine together, I wanted to tell you about myself. I've got my notes prepared, so if you see me reading, that's what's going on. So I was raised by hippies in a log cabin in the woods. I homeschooled, did 2 years of Running Start in Olympia, and after that, in 1999, I did my bachelor's degree at the Evergreen State College in political science, literature, and mathematics. The Evergreen's the hippie school. And so I had a big beard and kind of fluffy hair and wore a plaid shirt. And I had a fur hat even back then. In 2001, I completed my master's in science at Western Washington University in mathematics. And this is my 21st year teaching, and I'm presently honored to serve as the chair of the Peer and Applied Sciences at Highline. I enjoyed teaching when I came to Highline, and I love it more each year as I grow as a teacher, and I get the privilege of working with students like you and impacting our culture, both kind of right here in the Highline area and around the world through math and through education. I enjoy teaching math at all levels. I've liked teaching arithmetic. I taught linear last quarter, which I love. But I've taught a lot of calculus, and I really enjoy calculus because it just sort of brings a lot of stuff together and also has a really beautiful history. I think, frankly, there's topics that I'm not always excited about, but there isn't really a math class that I'm not interested in. A few years ago, I was privileged to be given a sabbatical by the college. Sabbatical is not a word that we often use in everyday language, so that's like paid time off from the college. They said, hey, Dusty, you need a break and your students need you to have a break. So go do a research project. So I spent a quarter and did this project around the philosophy of mathematics. And so I described the philosophy of mathematics as addressing 3 questions. What is mathematics? Where does mathematics come from? And what is mathematics' purpose? So kind of like, what is it? Where does it come from? What's its purpose? And after a quarter studying it, I don't know that I was much clearer or closer to answers, but I felt like I had a better understanding of kind of what the conversations were like and where things were going. And so I've spent the last decade kind of poking around at the topic, trying to understand more and meeting people and having conversations, trying to figure out what's going on. And so right now, I'm sort of working on a couple of different things. One, I'm trying to pull together a group from across the country to talk about the philosophy of math. Second thing I'm doing is I'm working on my own project, which is on what I call a triune philosophy of mathematics. It's I'll say my first contribution to the field. And lastly, I've looked for ways to incorporate it into our classes. And so last quarter, those that had linear with me got a chance to do a little bit of reading and conversations about what mathematics is and its purpose. So that's a little bit about my personal research interests. I'm also the faculty advisor for a student group at Highline called CREW. So CREW is a caring community passionate about connecting people to Jesus Christ. It's open to all students, regardless of religious belief or background, and we're going to be meeting Wednesdays at 12:30 in this same Zoom room if you want to join. It should be cool. We're going to try to partner with our CREW friends over at Green River as well this quarter. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's interesting to see how things adapt. Let's see. So my beautiful wife, Charlene, and I have been married for 7,324 days. In case you're wondering, that's 2 squared times 1,831. That's the prime factorization. And that's current. I have 3 children, and all 3 kids are helping me to put these videos together. I have a student spy in the class. I have one child that's being the moderator, who's letting people into the room and helping make sure things go okay that way, so that I don't have to multitask, which multitasking is a scary thing. And then my youngest wannabe Twitch streamer, YouTuber, is helping with the editing of the classes so that we can get at least mediocre quality videos up to you on YouTube after the fact to help you all to be successful in this class. So my wife, Charlene, 3 kids, Melissa, Faith, and Dustin. I enjoy reading. I enjoy boomerangs. Boomerangs are this amazing thing. It's actually the perfect quarantine sport because you don't have to have any friends to play catch with. You can just like throw this throw this stick and it comes back to you. So it's perfect. I enjoy budgeting and trying to make money go a little bit farther. And I'm actually interested in looking at ways that maybe we can explore some of those number sides kind of throughout this class a little bit. I also enjoy remodeling. I spent my spring break building this home office. I'm calling it the Corona Cabana. So it's a little teeny office space in the corner of our living room. We added the soundproofing, did the electrical, ran wires, found space for a new computer, stashed in a whole bunch of new monitors. This morning I was outside with my chop saw and my impact driver trying to put together a lighting thing to try to make everything work. I'm not an engineer, but I have a little bit of a practical hands-on component to myself. I usually bike or walk to Highline, but these days I just walk across the room to get to the Corona Cabana, and I get my steps in by walking around the neighborhood or working in the yard. Another interest of mine is in musical theater. My parents met in the 1970s in a musical called Godspell. And so musicals have been a part of my life kind of from the get-go. I've been in a couple shows somewhat recently. I had kind of an Elvis impersonation role in the musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And then I had an old man inventive role in Beauty and the Beast. That was a couple years ago, and that was pretty fun. I'm also a Christian, which means a lot more than going to church on Sundays, virtual church, I should say. It's the foundation of everything I do, and I hope that you see that it makes a difference in the way that I serve you this quarter. If you want to know the rest of my story, I look forward to hanging out with some of you during Zoom office hours, sharing more of my story and hearing some of yours. But I hope that gives you a little bit of a sense for who you have this quarter as an instructor, the good, the bad, and a little bit of the crazy.